Powerhouse. I got D_Ghostwriter. I got
Pato's Powerhouse. You're listening to Pato's Powerhouse. Pato's Powerhouse.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's podcast. This is Pato the Ghostwriter, welcoming you and thanking you for being here because, well, you have options. I know it, you know it. It's awesome. I mean, I'm feeling good. We finally got an episode of Cursory Overload up there, episode 53, the reboot, which it's basically me getting familiar with the new toy, the Zoom Live Track L8, which put me back in school, learning that baby so that I could deliver another episode of Cursory Overload was a task. That's why it took us almost a month. That's the reboot. It's up there. It's in the interwebs. Obviously, you can go to cursoryoverload.com and listen to it, or you can go to Spreaker, type in Cursory Overload, or like I tell people when they ask about the podcast, type in Cursory Overload on Google and you'll find us. That is so freaking awesome. It's one of those things that I really, really, really enjoy about the interwebs, that we're Cursory Overload, we're everywhere. Pato's Powerhouse, I mean, you can find it too. You type in Pato's Powerhouse and we're there. Wow, it's awesome. So I hope you guys are doing great. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I am very grateful you are here. I know there's options, so many options. Everyone and their dog has a podcast now. And more people are looking to start one, and it's like back in the day when in the early 90s, everybody wanted to start a band, everybody wanted to be a rapper. It was like the indie thing, it reminds me of that. It's kind of awesome. It's kind of like reliving those days, but now in the podcast environment. What are the odds you're gonna strike it rich becoming a podcaster? It's almost like winning the lottery. Okay, so if you're going to start a podcast, let me tell you one thing. Do it because you love to do this, because you love to interact with people, you like to talk, you have something you want to share, or just your thoughts, because a lot of the times, a lot of podcasts and podcasters, some people feel that your podcast must fulfill a need. And yeah, they all fulfill a need of some sort. I mean, yeah, you got the financial ones, which talk about money issues, stocks, bonds, cryptocurrencies, and keep you informed in that. That's their purpose. Then there's the other ones like Cursory Overload. I mean, it's taken us 2 years to figure out where Cursory Overload really, well, not necessarily taken us 2 years, but we've come to terms, and that's what it is. Cursory Overload is like a Seinfeld podcast. Seinfeld was the show that was supposed to be about nothing. Well, Cursory Overload is not necessarily about nothing, but it's one of those where two good friends sit down together, have some coffee or a beer or whatever it is our choice of drink is that day. Because now when we podcast, we each podcast from our homes. I'm here on the West Coast, he's over on the East Coast. It's crazy. It's one of those things that, what can I say? It's just awesome to be able to sit down there, shoot the breeze, shoot the shit, talk about what's going on over there in the East Coast, what's going on in our lives. And it's the kind of podcast that you can sit down, kick back, and realize that, we're all going through struggles. And we talk about a lot of crazy shit that we find along the way too. Don't get me wrong. A lot of weird shit, because K-Dog has a really fucked up, twisted mentality. And probably me too. But of course, for fucked upness and twistedness, of course, I'm gonna point the finger at him. I'm sure he points the finger at me, you know, especially when he's there talking to Mrs. K Dog about, why did you guys talk about this? That is sick. I'm sure K Dog's going like, well, that fucking Pato, he's disgusting motherfucker. And I vice versa, you know, it's like, me? I didn't come up with that. It was K Dog. That sick motherfucker. And that's how we roll. In our reality, it's pretty awesome. You know, like I said, it's a way that I get to hang out with my best friend, my brother from another mother, my heterosexual mate for life. You know, that's crazy. Yeah, we stole that from Kevin Smith and Jay Muse, or Silent Bob and Jay, or Jay and Silent Bob, which means I still haven't watched the Reboot movie. And basically, that's why that episode 53 is called the Reboot, because we're kind of starting. We're not starting all over, because we're a little bit more comfortable now when we speak on the mic, but it's starting all over with the process. It's different now. We're no longer just plugging into a laptop and talking shit and recording it and letting the ease of the Spreaker Studio help us. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it's my laptop. It could be that I need to upgrade too. And maybe that probably would have been the cheaper route, you know, just get a different, get a Chromebook or something, or a different laptop. But that probably would have been better, or I don't know, better, or maybe it would have been a solution, because it could be my laptop is the one having issues. But I didn't started having issues with the system until there was a Windows 10 upgrade. Anyway, we got the Zoom live track L8. Took me a while to learn it, and well, there it is. There's another episode in the pipelines. That one will be released Sunday at midnight, back on schedule as far as that goes. This episode here, I'm trying to release it before midnight my time. Obviously, in the East Coast, it's already Saturday, so I'm late by my standards here. In fact, I'm very late, because this should have released 24 hours ago, but I didn't get a chance because I've been busy. I've been running around. You know, it's that time of the year when we're getting ready to do our taxes here in the United States, and you know, it's gathering shit, doing this, and then, you know, the 22-year-old comes around and he's like, hey, you doing my taxes? And I'm like, look, why don't you come over here, let me introduce you to the software that's going to help you do your taxes. That way you can do them yourself, you know, because I'm a firm believer of you give a man a fish, he eats one day. You teach him to fish, he eats every day. Now, that's just an analogy, because if you know me, you know me and seafood really don't mix that much. I'll eat a tuna sandwich once in a while, because there's this part of me that doesn't believe that's real fish. I don't know. It is what it is. And it depends on how it is too, because those fish sticks that they sell, those I don't know what brand they are. I guess Van de Kamp's is one of the brands. They're not paying me, but it's one of those where they have the fish sticks. I mean, you know, I know that if I fry the hell out of them and shower them in lemon juice, I can eat those. Anyway, I don't even know how I got on this subject. Oh yeah, the analogy, you teach a man to fish, you know, you give a man a fish, he eats one day. You teach him to fish, he eats every day. Well, bottom line, that's what I was doing here with the 22-year-old, teaching him how to do his taxes so that he knows how to do it. I mean, if for some reason next year I'm busy or whatever, he's like, oh, I know what to do. And that's what we want to do as parents, right? Teach our kids to be self-sufficient, and nothing is more satisfying than knowing that if for whatever reason I am no longer around, they will be okay. I think that's our biggest job as a parent. I mean, of course, you know, we live in a world where everybody's got their priorities all fucked up. Us, you know, some parents are trying to live their fucking frustrated dreams to their kids, you know, forcing you to learn the accordion, or forcing you to ice skate, or you know, not that it's a bad thing. In fact, there's a lot of successful people that have become successful because their parents forced them to do something. I'm just saying, if I'm saying anything. Well, okay, that I've taken about 10 minutes just to tell you that we're back on track. We're back doing some of the stuff we love to do. One thing that I wanted to talk about really quick, just for a little bit, I'm trying not to get too politically charged, but it's kind of hard in this environment. But I noticed that the halftime show made news again. There was like fucking, what was it, like 1,300 complaints filed to the FCC because of J-Lo's and Shakira's performance. I'm like, motherfuckers, get a life. I'm like, why is it that, oh, I don't know. Here, like I said, here we go. Politically charged shit, religious, stuff. It's things that get me, those things get under my skin. And a lot of the times when I start going off, some people will say, because, I say I'm anti-religious, they're like, oh, well, you're like an atheist. No, understand the difference between being anti-religious and, you see, do I believe there's a God? Yes. Do I believe, let's just say, I'm Christian for the most part. And when I say for the most part, is that, do I believe there's a God? Yes. Do I believe in Jesus Christ? Yes. Do I believe he came to the world, died for me, because obviously I cannot save myself? Yes. Why do I cuss a lot? There's certain things that I've learned one thing, especially after 2016. Christianity taught me that how can I say this? The words, how I use my words is more important than the actual words I say. We all say, well, you shouldn't be using bad words. I don't know. Different countries, different places, the words have different meanings. And it depends on how you're using your words, right? Am I using my words to curse you, to wish evil upon you? No. I'm using them as adjectives, I guess, And I've had this conversation before. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel again. But what I'm saying is that, Christians have a tendency to attack things. Well, you have no right to speak because you said fuck. Well, fuck you. All I can say is you have no reason to talk about morals when you voted for the pussy-grabbing motherfucker that makes fun of disabled people. So shut the fuck up. Yeah, I said that. All right. So now that I said that, okay, I just wanted to point that out. It's like, it's been almost a month since the halftime show happened and people filed complaints because, oh my God, it's not fit for television. It's not fit for primetime. Kids are watching. It's okay to teach kids to hate others based on the color of their skin, right? It's okay to have kids caged up. Do you let them watch the news when the news are showing you these kids that are being separated from their parents? How do you justify to your children telling them, well, it's okay, they shouldn't have come here illegally? That's not what Jesus wanted. I'm just saying, I'm mixing politics and religion because I'm a little frustrated. And yeah, maybe I'm trying to press a few buttons there just because I'm in one of these asshole moods right now. But anyway, you know what? Just saying that, I just wanted to let you know that we're back. We're trying to get back on schedule. Thank you for tuning in. Cursory Overload, Rebellion, and SWE should be on schedule tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Till next time, live each day like it's your last one, because it very well could be. Take the time to be with your loved ones. Show them you love them. Tell them you love them, because when it's all said and done, that's what really matters. See ya. Enjoy the day. Enjoy your weekend, or whenever it is you're listening.